Put a smile on your face while passing through. Put away that frown, that awful screw. Ooh, mister, we're just sipping a cup and having some fun. Ooh, mister, and it's better than out in the streets busting gun. Cool down your temper, Mr. Cop. Cool down. We're just sipping a cup. Cool down your temper, Mr. Cop. Cool down. We're just sipping a cup. Now this is one of my favorite Gregory Isaacs songs. It's called Mr. Cop. Alright, so check out Gregory Isaacs. The proper version, the real version, which he actually does in the key of A. Now we're doing it in the key of G. So let's go. This song uses two bar chords, two major bar chords. Okay, your first bar chord, you're going to take your first finger and you're going to bar this third fret, all the strings. You're going to take your second finger and you're going to put it on the in the fourth fret on the third string, 1, 2, 3, the G string. You're going to take your third finger and you're going to put it on the fifth string in the fifth fret, and you're going to take your little finger and put it on the fourth string in the fifth fret, just like so. Now this bar chord can be moved anywhere up the fretboard. Right, so you can transfer your song. If it starts in the key of E and you want it to start in the key of A, you can just move it up by 2 frets and you've got A major there. So that's your first bar chord. By the way, this bar chord arrives from your open E. Your open E chord. If you know your open E chord, if I was to move everything down by 3 frets, sorry, you would have the open E chord. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. See, my bar chord is now past the knot, yeah, and that's where that chord comes from. The second chord comes from, which starts from your A string, comes from the A major chord, which you probably know, like this. All in the second fret, starting from the second string, second, third and fourth string. And if we were to imagine that we barred here and did that, barred here and then moved that up by 3 frets, 1, 2, 3, that will be our second chord. Our third chord is the same shape, moved up by 2 frets, 1, 2. So there's our 3 chords. 3 chords are 1, 2, 3. Now just to confuse you all, that is the 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. Okay, the 1, 4, 5 is simply the notes of the major scale, which become the root notes of the 3 chords what we are using, which are G, C and D. Major, all major, right? So our first chord, G, that's 1. Do, re, mi, fa, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the major scale we're playing. So the fourth, that's our second chord, but you call it the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's our 5th chord, which we're calling our 3rd chord. If you're confused, rewind this and I'm sure you'll get it. Now you may notice when playing the C and the D, I don't use all three fingers. I flatten the three strings just using my third finger. The first string, this first E string, you can kill it dead. It doesn't need to sound. So I just need to flatten those three. The last E string is dead. So all together, that's all I need. Let's quickly go over the reggae chop. Your hand needs to come off the strings. The pressure needs to come off this left hand as soon as you play. As soon as you don't want to wring it out like this. You want to take your finger off as soon as you hit it. So the length of the note is just determined by how quick you take your fingers off the string, the pressure off the strings. Once you've mastered the chords, here's the progression. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. We're going to give it a count of 8, and we're only going to play on the ands except for 1, which we're going to play this G note on the E string. There, we're going to play that on 1, and all the others are going to be on ands. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. Just like that. Notice the count is all downstrokes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. Now if you're watching closely, you may have noticed a couple of slides. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. So I slide on 5 and 7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. And that's it, easy as that. See you soon for another lesson. Take care. Please like, share and subscribe.